He walked over. He directly placed his hand on the table. And this blonde kid named Fan Kai is a high school classmate of theirs. Studying at the Academy of Transcendence for a year, the lowest level would be Lunar Dawn level. How dare you bring out this intern transcendenter? As for this guy's appearance, if it weren't for various reasons, she really wanted to beat him up. The male lead waved his hand when he saw the situation, indicating that she should not make trouble for herself. You are not welcome here. Just as he was about to lose his temper, Aurelia Lowe's communicator rang. Van Kais gritted his teeth in frustration at the mixed doubles match of the two. After angrily slamming the table, he left in a huff. A trashy novice transcendenter actually dares to ignore me. I am the pride of Aurelia Lowe's heaven. Aurelia Lowe received an urgent task. She had to leave Bright River due to the urgent task without any negative feelings. He said it would be good to make plans to meet again when he's free in the future. Aurelia Lowe readily agreed, and even said she would go cheer him on during his special admissions assessment. After she came out, a man in a suit vest walked over. He took off the leaves above her head and said urgently that they needed her ability to control electricity. Get in the car, and he will explain more to you along the way. I won't bother her in the future. I really envy her. Envy my foot. That man is her brother, your brother-in-law. He almost made me furious. For various reasons, the male lead mistakenly thought her brother was her boyfriend. This is a huge misunderstanding. Because of this, he did not tell Aurelia Lowe during the special recruitment assessment. He came to the assessment site alone, and the so-called special recruitment assessment is nothing more than a backdoor for the wealthy. Just as he entered, he met a talkative rich kid. After looking him up and down, Peng Linghui felt very surprised. You are really low-key. The total cost of your outfit from head to toe does not exceed 300 yuan. The male protagonist ignored him, but continued to say, My family donated 7 million. How much did your family donate? It turns out that this special assessment is based on the amount of donation to determine the ranking of grades. After all, South Capital Academy never lacks geniuses. And it is said that this money is used to establish high scholarships in order to provide more opportunities for students from poor families. He said helplessly, Do I really have no chance at all? The words of this rich man at this moment pierced his heart. Where am I going to find 7 million? Soon, the examiners for the special admission assessment came out. The head examiner is called Yin Jin. As the roll call began, everyone shouted out their names, but Peng Linghui's name was not called. Seeing this, someone quickly helped him out. The examiner then realized that there was an extra page added this year. It was written clearly on top, Official Recommendation. It turns out it was a stingy official. I must find a reason to eliminate him later. The assessment is divided into 5 sections, with 4 basic tests and the final one being practical combat. Starting from the strength test, the examiner began targeting him. If you can't reach 1,500 kilograms, you can leave. Goodness, they are already trying to discourage him before the test even starts. He looked at this machine, which is the same model as the testing equipment used by the Hunter Association. Last time he tested at 1,000, how much will he score this time? The lack of power of money makes him not dare to hold back. I am going to your damn money. He directly blew up the tester. It almost scared the wealthy kids to death. Even the teacher was surprised because the power went off the charts. He realized that this candidate has some potential. The examiner then announced that because the robot was scrapped, there was no need to test the others, and everyone passed automatically. No wonder Aurelia Lowe's best friend likes boys who have the power of money. This sharp contrast shows that the power of money really works. The female examiner showed great compassion. This person's ability is already very outstanding. But after the persuasion of the two, she also did not mention the matter. Compared to the wealthy, he indeed seems insignificant. Just increase the difficulty level in the next part, and that should suffice. The second item is a speed test. Participants can run freely in the venue. As long as you are not knocked down by the general level cheetah with red stripes within the specified time, you will be deemed to have passed. After the examiner finished explaining the rules, he instructed the animal trainer. Please take good care of that poor boy. You can go easy on the other rich young masters. This so-called special admission exam is actually about who has more money. The more money the rich students donate to the school, the higher their grades will be. Can the male lead, as an orphan and a poor beggar, succeed in fishing? As the second speed assessment begins, everyone started running one after another. Pumlingwe is running the fastest, because a cheetah is chasing him. How did the power of money fail? The examiner raised the sign upon seeing the situation. This kid actually donated 7 million. He had to whistle to signal the cheetah to ease up on the chase. The cheetah immediately understood. It swung its paw. It fell down on its own, looking like an old actor. He saw that this general-level cheetah was so weak, it seemed stable. Just as he ran towards a distance, the beast tamer's whistle sounded again, meaning it was clear that this poor boy could play casually. Look at its excited expression. In previous years, no one played with it. Suddenly, a chill ran down his back. Seeing the cheetah about to pounce on him, he lunged and dodged just in time. The cheetah landed and immediately turned around. How did this sick cat suddenly become so nimble? And it felt completely different. Without waiting for him to think more, the cheetah charged straight towards him, prompting him to have a selfish idea. Hey, this is too much to post a selfie on Instagram during the assessment. But the cheetah is even more excessive. It completely ignores other people. He is not easy to bully either. Let me show you the results of my physical training these past few months. He easily outpaced the cheetah by a mile, leaving the billionaires watching in astonishment. The examiner remained calm and said, "Stay calm, there are still 15 minutes left before the end." 10 minutes later, he almost made the cheetah vomit from running so fast. He saw the cheetah wilted. He took the initiative and said, "You are going to be chased by me. I will knock out all of your teeth." Cute little leopard has never seen this scene before. It runs away in a crazy panic. The examiner was so shocked that their jaw almost dropped. Fortunately, it ended in 15 minutes, otherwise little leopard would have been exhausted to death. Because everyone is safe and sound, the second item is still collectively approved. Who made themselves have no money? On the way to the third assessment location, the female examiner pleaded on behalf of the male protagonist again. The male examiner, seeing that the chief examiner disliked that poor fellow, also degraded the male lead just like the chief examiner did. The chief examiner actually doesn't dislike the male lead. He is just doing things for the money. The third item is a reaction assessment. If hit by Ghost Tree within 5 minutes, the qualification will be lost. Ghost Tree has been pruned artificially, so even if hit, there is no life-threatening danger. After absorbing blood, it will come alive and attack living creatures in front of it. After gently cutting his finger and placing it on the trunk, Ghost Tree instantly came alive, and the first to undergo the test was not the male lead, but a local tyrant named Sieze instead. Just saw Ghost Tree slowly dodge a whip with ease. He passed without any surprises, while other tycoons expressed that the power of money is really useful. It seems that the entire assessment will be treated differently. He went through special recruitment 3 tests. This poor guy already has nothing to live for. He doesn't even pretend to disguise the rigging. The male lead is about to undergo the test now. The examiner is causing trouble again. He directly drew a big mouth. Because the Ghost Tree's ability is to become stronger the more blood it absorbs. Just the power of this whip should hit the tycoons. Their parents will have to dismantle the school. The Ghost Tree lifted its trunk and delivered another critical blow. Bullets may not even hit me. Is that it? The Ghost Tree is now running at full throttle. It couldn't move the male lead at all. The chief instructor roared angrily. Are you going easy on him? Upon hearing this, he made a desperate move and cut his femoral artery directly, because he absorbed too much fresh blood. Ghost Tree went berserk directly. Not only that, even the danger areas that were pruned manually have become thick and long. You are strong, no matter how strong you are. Instead, he closed his eyes and trained his auditory response. He is still in complete control, even with his eyes closed. Ghost Tree couldn't even lay a finger on him. The wealthy onlookers were all stunned. This person must be a devil. Is that all? It's not over yet. The male lead I taught directly activated the cheat code. Repetitive sideways jumps. He was worried that no one would practice with him, so he practiced like this for 5 minutes until the ghost tree softened directly, and even a twig couldn't stiffen. The instructor behind him almost sacrificed heroically. This candidate completed all 3 items beyond the standard. Are you sure you don't want to admit him? For that hefty sum of money, he bluntly said that even 1 item being unqualified is unacceptable. Without saying more, he walked directly to the next testing location. At this moment, Instructor Sure is receiving blood transfusion treatment in the medical room. Medical personnel saw him cut his wrist and bleed. Thinking that he was feeling depressed because of a misunderstanding between his girlfriend and uncle, which led to a suicide attempt. Listen, my brother, let me give you some advice. If you want to make it in life, being cheated on is just part of the package. Of course, choose to forgive her. In the future, you must never have dark thoughts. Arriving at the 4th assessment, the final basic test is very simple. As long as you have a violet soul rank or higher, you can pass. I remember you were white dust rank a year ago. I advise you not to waste your time. Even if you don't leave, it will be the last test. He doesn't care anyway, it's all the same. Peng Lingwei as the first test participant. He held a sensing stone in his hand, and immediately a purple light appeared. This is something the male lead didn't expect. And what happened next was even more unexpected for him. Without exception, these rich second-generation individuals all have violet soul rank talent. When the main examiner saw him so surprised, he told him, I know you are white dust rank. Although you got a perfect score in theory at that time, you lack an important piece of knowledge in high school theory. This is an extraordinary talent that can substitute for theory. Through research, humans can extract a substance called life droplet from the special calamity beast. Its function is to replace the original extraordinary talent, the so-called transcendent power, which can be altered later in life. As long as you have enough the power of money, the lowest level is violet soul rank talent. In this world, money can indeed buy anything. Even the talents that one is born with can be changed. No wonder these local tyrants all have violet soul rank talents. The fact is just that. Even if your strength is off the charts, neural responses are quick. The body is fast and enduring, but you are ultimately just a white dust rank beginner. How to withstand the ultimate soul arcana of a violet soul rank expert, who can even defeat higher ranked enemies with proper use. He is extremely familiar with the ultimate soul arcana, indeed very effective. After listening to so much nonsense, he stepped onto the testing platform. If a person's foundation is excellent, then the ultimate soul arcana they unleash will be extraordinary. Is the destructive power stronger? He will still use white dust unless something unexpected happens. But he may change back to blue spirit later. White dust is his luck talent. The current blue spirit is the mystic fist talent. Just not blue spirit, but a true violet soul talent. The chief examiner roared, This is definitely a problem with the induction stone. So are you implying that there is a problem with my test as well? The rich man spoke with a tough attitude, and a single sentence left the chief examiner speechless. But he found that the sensor stone emitted a faint red light, so he immediately let go. There is no need to let them know about his Crimson Lord rank talent. He walked down and teased the chief examiner. Since we are all violet soul rank, I am the first, you don't mind, right? Don't be too pleased. If you don't meet the standard in actual combat, you won't pass. He left angrily after he finished speaking. He returned to the rest area, holding his head and feeling troubled. This is really difficult now. Someone arrived at this moment. It was Fankai who arrived and said that he was capable of being the practical exam proctor. The female examiner is not willing. He ranked 3rd in Lonrise City last year, and now, after studying for a year, he is simply bullying newcomers. You missed a bit. I'm still in the top 10 of the sophomore practical ranking. Upon hearing these words, the chief examiner promised that this poor ghost must be eliminated. At this time, the practical arena was already crowded with people. But Aurelia Lowe was conspicuously absent. After all, she already has a boyfriend. As the examiners arrive successively, the practical assessment thus begins. The first battle is between the underdog and Fankai. This has really excited the girls in the audience. I didn't expect that even the top 10 on the ranking list have come. It's quite a lineup this time. The most surprising thing is still Bright River. He was originally worried about hurting others, but now he can let go and go all out. The real battle begins. Fankai immediately condensed Gale's breath. He exerted all his strength and leaped. He used his own spiritual skill Gale strike as soon as he came up. He clenched his fist and threw a punch upon seeing the situation. With a loud noise, Fankai was sent flying out. To be honest, you are very annoying. Not only that, your skills are also garbage. Just because I'm getting closer to Aurelia Lowe, you are targeting me everywhere. I advise you, if you can't handle it yourself, don't take it out on me. It's like when high school rivals both get into the same college. What kind of story do you think will happen? Fankai became anxious when he heard him say he couldn't do it, and said directly, "You are just a white dust rank scum. How can you be worthy of the goddess? I don't even consider you to be important. If you don't consider me important, then why are you here?" So he tried to argue cunningly, saying, "I am just following the school's arrangements." The female examiner felt displeased upon hearing this. She raised her hands and said, "You clearly volunteered yourself. You insisted on becoming Bright River's opponent." He saw the situation and said he wouldn't pretend anymore. "You should just go to the factory to screw in screws. Don't even think about getting into the Academy of Transcendence. You are even less worthy of Aurelia Lowe. Indeed, this is your true thoughts. If you are a man, then pursue with dignity. Unfortunately, you are not a man. You only discuss me at every turn." He is now furious, like a mad dog barking aimlessly, completely disregarding his own image. This is what makes a man. Much better than being a camper in high school, but still, I'm going to knock you down. He immediately threw his clothes out. Start the fight. Since it's an assessment, I definitely don't have to pay for medical expenses. I'm in the top 10 of the sophomore practical combat list. You should be the one worried. I haven't finished talking yet. Bright River is coming over with a fist raised. He swung a heavy punch. Fankai was heavily hit and sent flying. He did not stop, directly activating the second stage of explosive speed. This is still what he learned when chasing Lil Leopard. He leaps into the air with a shoryuken. He knocked out one of Fankai's front teeth, but he did not fall to the ground. He floated in the air using Gale's breath instead. He is at least in the top 10 of the second battle ranking. This is simply a great humiliation. He launched another spiritual skill at this moment. This is the Gale Whip formed by condensing whirlwinds. I have to say, the power is pretty good. Not only that, the number of Gale Whips is increasing. The power of this wave is worthy of the top 10. Seeing Bright River powerless, his pride soaring, he swoops down. He directly unleashes a stronger intermediate spiritual skill Gale Boa. Just see a python transformed from the wind element rushing towards Bright River. You will be severely injured even if you don't die. Bright River sees the situation. He bends down to fuse with the earth element, then rises up and gathers power towards the direction of Fankai. Just then, a towering pillar shoots up from the ground. He sent Fan Kai flying directly. This is the Sand Pillar Fist. The audience at the scene were all stunned. It's the first time that someone who hasn't even entered school has defeated one of the top 10 fighters on the leaderboard. Isn't this the person who had a date with Aurelia Lowe at the school gate a few days ago? I didn't expect him to be so capable. Fan Kai, who was beaten to a pulp, said, I have a hidden talent. The more angry I get, the stronger Gale's breath becomes. He is now releasing Gale's breath with all his might, because he is about to unleash his ultimate soul arcana. Fury Breath Tornado. Will Bright River also trigger ultimate soul arcana to contend with it? The two of them fought each other over a woman. As Fan Kai unleashed the ultimate soul arcana, the audience seats erupted in excitement. But the female examiner was no longer calm, as activating the ultimate soul arcana was forbidden in the actual combat assessment. The main examiner did not intervene in this situation. For the sake of guaranteeing his own interests, he disregarded the safety of the students. It's truly despicable. Bright River was greatly shocked at the sight. It was the first time he had seen someone else's ultimate soul arcana. It's just that this is far inferior to his own. As Fury Breath Tornado becomes stronger and stronger, the female instructor can't sit still. If this continues, something bad will happen. Meanwhile, Peng Linghui shouted at the sight, telling him to run quickly. But it was too late. Bright River had been completely swallowed. Even so, the head examiner did not intervene. Bright River in the storm remains as steady as a rock. If that's all you've got, you might as well go home and tend the cows. Fan Kai initially had some reservations, but because of this statement, he no longer held back and started giving his all. Only saw Fury Breath Tornado erupt completely. Witnessing the tornado approaching in an instant, he did not evade but absorbed the wind element within the tornado. Hurricane Punch is conceived and born. He couldn't think of it at all. His own ultimate soul arcana. It turned out to become Bright River to defeat its own medium. At this moment, the wind element, after passing through the hands of Bright River, is even more powerful. And this is just his Mystic Fist spiritual skill. As the dust dispersed, Fan Kai's figure appeared. At this moment, he was embedded in the wall and could not be budged. He should be grateful that Bright River controlled the force. No one expected such an outcome. Bright River actually only used spiritual skill. He just shattered Fan Kai's ultimate soul arcana. Fan Kai trembled and said, What have you done, Bright River? You didn't deceive him. That's my Mystic Fist spiritual skill. He was unwilling to accept it. How could you possibly defeat my soul arcana with spiritual skill? You should be thankful that I didn't use soul arcana, otherwise you would have been annihilated. But he didn't believe that you could use soul arcana. Peng Linghui saw the situation and Bright River had just passed the talent test as a genuine Violet Soul talent. Soon, medical personnel arrived with a stretcher. This injury won't heal in just a month. Faced with the ridicule of the two, Fan Kai was so angry that he vomited blood. Under the pressure from the students at the scene, will the chief examiner let Bright River pass? He was seen staring fiercely at Bright River. Bright River doesn't buy into this and indicates that they will strictly monitor things in the future. You can find yourself if you want. That person will never get into the Academy of Transcendence in this lifetime. After all, students like Fan Kai might think that the top 10 of the Academy of Transcendence got in through the back door. Although it's annoying, he still let Bright River pass. And Fan Kai did not claim medical expenses because he used Soul Arcana. And his statement, "I am not short of money," was his final stubbornness. I have seen arrogance before, but I have never seen anyone being arrogant about their own medical expenses. After the practical assessment of everyone was over, Peng Linghui went back to celebrate with his father. When a senior sister asks you for your phone number, would you give it to her? With the successful conclusion of the special recruitment assessment, all the students left one after another. Just as he was about to leave, a senior sister ran over. It seems she is also interested in toads. She came up and asked for his phone number, indicating that they could go for a walk in this small forest together when they are free. Bright River doesn't understand what's so interesting to explore in this small forest. He just wants to go to the Banyan Institute. And the scene where the two struck up a conversation happened to be witnessed by Aurelia Lowe. She said that guiding the way was just a small matter, and there was no need to trouble Senior Sister. She was sufficient on her own. But Senior Sister insisted on helping and suggested adding each other on TikTok. Her phone is broken and being repaired. Then just leave a phone number. The SIM card is also broken and hasn't been replaced yet. This whole situation is quite a hassle. This directly confused Bright River, even though he doesn't understand very well. But he really needs to change his own phone. The SIM card is almost dead. And Aurelia Lowe speculated, "Your assessment results today must be very good, right?" Bright River then lightly said, "It's just SOSO. The main reason is that Fan Kai went easy on me." But Aurelia Lowe doesn't believe it. Isn't this guy always targeting you? Who knows? Maybe he has turned over a new leaf. Whatever the case, the outcome is positive. They are now alumni again. After this, Bright River finally embarked on the long-awaited campus life. Here, there are spacious grass fields for practice and a lively university town commercial street. The artistic atmosphere fills the teaching buildings and libraries, while Bright River at this time. He is studying the knowledge of theory of transcendence in the classroom. I really miss the days of attending classes, the bygone youth that cannot be returned. This person, who looks like Lu Sun, is called Teacher Zhong. May I ask what core abilities does the talent White Dust rank possess? Fong Nianrong stood up. White Dust rank not only has physical qualities that are different from ordinary people. By training, they can even surpass the limits of some athletes. In the past cognition, athletes represent the limits of the human body. But with the arrival of the transcendental era, most transcendents have transcended themselves. This is the core ability of the White Dust rank, which we refer to as transcendent body. Of course, different White Dust owners possess different characteristics, such as being very fast or having great strength. Upon hearing this, it makes a student very confused. White Dust can also become a transcendenter. Why doesn't the Academy of Transcendence enroll them? The teacher did not answer his question, but instead continued to explain the talent of Blue Spirit. Blue Spirit not only possesses the White Dust constitution, but also has a special or exclusive ability. The teacher then asked who would like to demonstrate it. On hearing this, Little Morris stood up and said, "My extraordinary talent is dazzling light. It only causes blindness and does not damage the classroom." After obtaining the teacher's permission, she then began to unleash her own spiritual skill. She gently clenched her fist, with herself as the center, and beams of light spread throughout the entire classroom, making it impossible for everyone to keep their eyes open. Soon, they became blind. When everyone watches the video of your actions, do you want yourself to be pixelated? As the little girl released her spiritual skill, everyone's vision turned black. It took a while before everyone's vision slowly restored. Although Blue Spirit is inherently superior to White Dust, unleashing spiritual skills will consume a large amount of physical and mental energy. Therefore, the cultivation of transcendent physical capability remains crucial. Violet Soul is indeed formidable, as it possesses the transcendent body of White Dust and the explosive spiritual skills of Blue Spirit, as well as the Soul Arcana. After observing classmates, it seems that there are not many Violet Souls in the entire school. Most are Blue Spirits. The release conditions for Soul Arcana vary, so it's not something that can be explained in just a few sentences. For example, some require the user to be on the brink of transcendence to use them. In short, Soul Arcana is like a tenfold burst of spiritual skills. Recently, the teacher acquired a precious resource that will help everyone understand this lesson better. The next video to be shown will be censored. Would the student near the window please pull the curtains? Because the videos were recorded without my consent, my face has already been pixelated. Taking a deep breath, it's fortunate that there was censoring, Otherwise, I'd have become famous. As Fan Kai unleashed Fury Breath Tornado, everyone couldn't help but get excited. But Fang Nianrong discovered that one of the obscured individuals looked more and more like Bright River after the teacher's analysis. Previously, Fan Kai used the Gale Whip and Gale Boa's spiritual skills to accumulate the wind element around him, which is the prerequisite for him to cast the Soul Arcana. I see. If he had scattered Gale Boa at the beginning, he would have easily won, and the following scenes would have been even more impressive. The man only used one punch. He broke apart Fury Breath Tornado with just one punch. The one who uses his fists always gives the feeling like this guy. From the video analysis, it can be seen that what this person is using is just a spiritual skill eruption. It is a kind of eruption that can absorb the surrounding medium and release the corresponding attribute's spiritual skill. So the students were confused. Didn't they just say that the Soul Arcana is equivalent to 10 times the spiritual skill? How come the spiritual skill is now stronger? According to the background information obtained from the teacher, there are two factors here. Firstly, this student named White Dust has a very solid foundation in the textbook, scoring full marks in all 3 basic tests. I have mentioned before that White Dust's transcendent physical capability can be strengthened through training after birth. The stronger the basic physical ability, the stronger the spiritual skill and Soul Arcana released. So the true strength of a transcendent does not rely on talent levels for measurement. In theory, White Dust could surpass even powerful Black Saints if he trained to the extreme. But back to studying. What they really want to know is who that person covering their face is. It feels like one person could take down a whole classroom, especially with such strong spiritual skills. Soul Arcana is even more powerful. Quiet. I believe everyone has a deeper understanding of extraordinary talent after watching the coded video. White Dust and Blue Spirit both need to train hard, or their high talent levels could easily be defeated. Let's end the class. After watching the coded video, the students have gained a deeper understanding of the human body and extraordinary talent. As the bell rings, students start returning to their dormitories, but one girl does not go back to her room. Instead, she follows a boy. She did not ask any questions. The male lead in the coded video just now. It was you, right? This totally amazed Bright River. How did you manage to see through such a blurry mosaic? I'm not silly. You are on the bullet train. Saying that you are not a student of the Academy of Transcendence, the only possibility is that you were admitted through special enrollment. Also, when you fought with female monster, you used fists. Your analysis is a bit hasty. After all, using fists was not unique to me. The story hasn't finished yet. An urgent announcement echoed throughout the entire city. It turns out that a small meteorite has entered the Earth's atmosphere and is falling near South capital Shaolin. Looks like there's something else to do again. At this moment, both of them received a phone call. Here Nianrong received a notification from the combat support group. Bright River received a call from Loris on this end. Official estimates suggest that 1,000 alien calamity beasts will be handled by the front line this time. However, Dragon's Teeth needs you to be on standby at all times to deal with unpredictable emergencies. Bright River realized that something significant is happening and asked themselves where they need to go. Loris said that you only need to stay at South Capital Academy and should not accept any other assignments. Okay, I will go back to the dormitory and soak my feet first. Upon returning to the dormitory, he immediately heard his roommate's complaints. It turned out that his roommate, named Li Jin, was showing off his identity as a member of the rescue team in front of them. The two of them stopped talking when Bright River returned. However, Bright River became interested in the preparing students and started to ask about them. Wang Jia explained that every time a disaster occurs, the astronomy group will broadcast it. At this time, the officials, the hunters, the academies, and the civilians will start to take action. Even when a calamity star of level 5 or above falls, personnel from all 4 factions will be dispatched to provide reinforcement in all directions. This is the operational system unique to large cities, so it's normal for someone from a small town like Bright River not to understand. And the South Capital Academy of Transcendence, as the leader of the academies, having its students become backup fighters is naturally a very honorable thing. Zhang Yuan didn't seem happy after listening. Preparing for the battle is actually just doing odd jobs. There's nothing to be proud of. The shadow of the calamity beast may not even be visible. My eldest brother is different. He is a true frontline fighter who actually goes to battle in the meteor pit. That foolish boy Li Jin is just there to serve tea and pour water. He was very envious after hearing that because the treatment for frontline fighters is very good. The academy not only assigns luxurious one-bedroom apartments, but also provides little butlers to take care of their daily lives. The luxurious apartment building assigned to frontline personnel. Just across from their dormitory, a weak chicken of a generation was tragically hit by a meteor. He turned into a vegetable and lay there for a year. He flew away as soon as he woke up. Commander's sister ordered him to hang up in the face of the invasion of the alien calamity beast. He had no choice but to return to the dormitory to chat and gossip. And he learned that the goddess Aurelia Lo lives in a luxurious apartment building by the sea. After all, she claimed to be a frontline combatant. Mentioning the goddess Wang Jiao lifted his spirits. According to reliable information he received, South Capital Academy has 3 goddesses. The first one is Tang Ning, who is known as the Ice Princess. The second one is Feng Ling, who is known as the Martial Saintess. The third one is Aurelia Lo, who is known as the Skydancing Thunder Queen. Bright River commented after listening. These titles are a bit too edgy, aren't they? According to Wang Jia, the titles of goddesses are all named by everyone based on their own talents. As long as you have witnessed their abilities, you will not think there is any problem. After listening to Bright River, I finally understand why Aurelia Lo is well known by everyone, and he said that Aurelia Lo was his high school classmate. But the two of them do not believe it. After all, many people claim that Aurelia Lo is their wife. Bright River saw that the two people didn't believe it no matter what, and didn't dwell on it too much. He got up and went back to his own room. He sat cross-legged on the bed, closed his eyes, and began his practice for the day. When he arrived in the practice space, he woke up Goddess, his elder sister. She slowly opened her eyes upon hearing the movement. Still not fully awake, she stretched lazily. You too. I've said that the mutated Dr. Zhao is no longer suitable to be your virtual opponent because your interaction surface is too narrow. I can access very little biological information, let alone simulating other opponents. This reminds Bright River of Shaoling's Calamity Beast invasion. The embarrassing part is that one is still in the standby phase. Then just walk around. I don't need your help for now. It's meaningless to practice without new opponents. Although you're not in the Academy preparatory group, you are like a hunter. At least take on some freelance work in your spare time. Upon hearing these words, he felt that they made sense. But he decided to wait until the end of the Dragon's Teeth mission before making a decision. Goddess discovered that his second latent talent slot had been unlocked. Looking at the Transcender's late-stage attribute panel, she realized that there was not only one extraordinary talent available but also the possibility of having multiple talents simultaneously. She instructed him to find a way to obtain the life droplet to awaken his second talent. My goodness, the extraordinary talent can actually have 2 abilities. I know you are a poor ghost. This thing can be obtained from the elder of the Calamity Beast's nest. It all depends on your luck. Hitting the heart. Do you have to be so honest? As the saying goes, the rich rely on technology, and the poor rely on mutations. And you rely on luck to meet the one and only me. Bright River said lightly. Someone was bitten by a spider and turned into Spider-Man. Being struck by lightning can make you fly straight up into the air. I was hit by such a big meteorite at least. Don't you have a max-level gift package for me? Please, that's a movie made by your humans. Being down to earth is the truth. It is well known that women have great appeal to men. But when a man is not interested in a woman, he can be so terrifying. This boy is immersed in practicing cultivation and cannot extricate himself. Whenever he has nothing to do, he runs to the practice space to find Goddess' sister. He said that he used to casually choose a rubbish opponent to make himself sweat during the practice. Goddess is not happy. Can you go do what a man should do? It's hard to get into college, but I don't know how to enjoy a wonderful college life. You probably don't even know how many classrooms there are on campus. After this reminder, he remembered something. He does have a place he has wanted to go to for a long time. So he put on his mask and set off. This place is neither a library nor a small forest, but the South Capital Academy's practice field. It looks like he can practice here again. It's over. This guy is beyond help. He's single just based on his abilities. At this moment, Bright River took off his coat and prepared to move around the field one for activity. But he found out. This student's attacks are easily avoided without any effort. He is far behind compared to the virtual opponent, but since he has nothing to do, he might as well warm up a bit. At the same time, inside court number 3, 2 students are engaged in intense combat. From the situation of the two in battle, it is very obvious that the girl has the upper hand. She did not stop after kicking the orc into the air. She instead followed up on her advantage and struck down mercilessly. The orc leader suffered greatly. Why did this student have to do this? Did I just click on your house or steal your rice? And this girl? She is Feng Ling, known as the martial saintess among the 3 great goddesses. But she is not satisfied with just one orc. She then turned to look at others and asked around, but no one dared to step up. Seeing people around fleeing in panic, she felt helpless. How did she end up alone again? She thought to herself that she just had a strong desire to fight, not that scary. She declined the towel offered to her, as she didn't even break a sweat today. Such is my lady. Your current strength here is like dynamiting fish. Your classmates all call you martial saintess. She did not care about nicknames like that. Anything was fine. She just wanted to cultivate herself. Upon hearing this, he thought of something. There was a young man at the number 1 venue today who was quite skilled. Why not go and give it a try? She said lightly. I've beaten down so many young men that I can't even count them. Let's go somewhere else. However, she casually glanced over. She found that this young man still had some potential. He defeated him with just a few simple moves. So she changed her previous opinion. She then took off her top coat to show that this young man had good physical skills and should be able to endure for 3 minutes to make herself sweat. After observing, the uncle is certain that this young man can definitely last longer than 3 minutes. When 2 training maniacs collide, what kind of chemical reaction will occur? Feng Ling saw his uncle looking at him so favorably, and made a bet. He said, he definitely won't last 3 minutes against me. If I can't disarm him within 3 minutes, I'll practice hard in the way you suggested. Bright River originally wanted to play with him a little longer, but he was slightly stunned by the sudden appearance of the girl. Afterwards, he agreed to practice with her. Due to the time limit, she immediately rushed towards Bright River. Seeing this, he was surprised in his heart, realizing that this girl was not easy to deal with. He almost got hit by her right leg. And she changed her attacking style in the air. If Bright River did not react quickly enough, he would really be lying on the ground. At this point, the 2 of them started boasting about their skills. Then the 2 of them immediately started fighting again, and this punch made her feel a little something. She praised, not bad, but be careful in the next move. The 2 of them unexpectedly used spiritual skill at the same time. The powerful collision caused waves of energy to surge around them. The people around were amazed and said, is this something you can watch for free? It's just too exciting. After a moment of deadlock, Feng Ling then jumped towards the back. Because taking this punch made her right leg numb, her uncle reminded her that 3 minutes had already passed. She had to admit that this guy is really something. If it were another guy, it wouldn't have lasted this long. Bright River didn't waste time talking too much. How can such a good opportunity for practice be missed? He immediately used the Wind Fist technique from the Mystic Fist spiritual skill. Feng Ling, on the other hand, used the Swift Shadow technique from the spiritual skill. And she found the right moment to move away. Bright River saw that she wanted to escape. He directly activated the second stage of rapid pursuit. If it weren't for Aurelia Lowe intervening in the middle, maybe the two of them are more suitable for each other. While the two were passionately engaged in the game, the uncle's phone rang. With an urgent task assigned on the other end of the phone, he had a serious expression. He then shouted loudly towards Feng Ling's direction. Upon hearing about the emergency task, Feng Ling stopped. However, things took an unexpected turn when Uncle accidentally shouted Feng Ling's name, causing a commotion in the crowd. Before leaving, Feng Ling told Bright River that she would come every Wednesday morning and hoped to battle with him again next time. After understanding the specific task's instructions, she left. She hurried to the frontline location of Shaoling and instructed Uncle Yuan to ask for the name of that classmate. However, the male lead who finished pretending to be a badass had long disappeared. He was now strolling around the campus, couldn't help but sigh. It's no wonder she's the top student in the academy. Every girl here is so fierce. But what's her name again? It seems like someone called her Fig? In the following days, with the efforts and hard work of the frontline personnel, the Red Eyes Calamity Beast in the Shaoling area was successfully eliminated. And a grand commendation was given to the frontline personnel from the academy for their outstanding contribution in breaking the nest, aiming to inspire society to bravely confront the Calamity Beasts.